Many men, many women are constantly talking about how they can't find a good husband or they can't find a good wife. A lot of single people say they can't find a good spouse. Maybe the reason is you're playing the dating game wrong. Too many of us are looking for the next experience and not a lifelong commitment. There's a big difference between searching for the next experience and searching for a lifelong partner or a lifelong commitment. The next experience and a commitment are two totally different things. If you're already geared towards the next high, the next fun, the next man, the next woman, if you're already looking for a way to satisfy your fantasies, your mentality is not even husband or wife material. So you can't find the husband if you're not a wife. You can't find the wife if you're not a husband. You have to be the person to find the person. But if you're always searching for the next experience, you're not even qualified to say, I want or need a spouse. So if you want a husband, you have to be a wife first. If you want a wife, you have to be a husband first. Which means you need to know what a commitment is. You need to know responsibility. You need to know the proper definition of love. And the proper definition of love comes from whatever God defined love is, which is always giving and sacrificing. It's not what you can take. It's not what you can manipulate. Love is not something you can produce to make yourself happy by drawing energy from somebody else. That's not what love is. Love is a constant giving, it's a constant service, it's a constant sacrifice. And it also takes courage because it makes you vulnerable. But if you're just looking for the next experience, you're not going to be vulnerable. You're not using courage. You're not giving, you're just taking. You're just searching for the next high. Because you want something that the last person didn't give you. But you're always wanting. Love is wanting to give. Love is seeing value in the other person and wanting to lift that person up and understanding their purpose in life and helping them find their purpose. And then that other person is going to do the same thing to you. So love is constantly giving. Love is not what I can take. It's not what I can manipulate. It's not what I can produce tonight. It's not a one-night stand. It's service. You have to be in a service mode. And that requires being a person with a servant mentality, a servant heart, and a servant spirit, which also makes you, what? Vulnerable. But many of us are not vulnerable in the dating game because we've been hurt, played, and lied to so much in the past. And then you hate everybody and you don't trust anyone, and now you're bragging about ghosting people. But the truth is, you do the exact same thing. When I was single, I did it. 50 different women lied to me. But guess what? I lied to 50 different women. 50 different women made me promises. But guess what? I made promises to 50 different women. I've been stood up by many women. Yo, I'll see you at 8. They didn't show up. At 9:30, now they answer on the phone. But I've done the same thing to dozens of women. A lot of women lied on me, stole money from me, but guess what? I lied to women. I never stole any money because I'm a man. I have my own money. But I told plenty of lies. I gave plenty of fake names. I said I'll show up, it didn't show up. So the treatment I received from different women when I was dating is the same treatment I was putting out. Some people call that karma. The Bible calls it sin for sin exchange. You lie to me, I lie to you because I just want what I want. The Bible just calls it sin and deceit. We call it karma. You breaking the golden rule. You treat people the way you want to be treated. Well, if I'm lying and cheating, guess what? I'm going to be lied to and cheated on. So I was not husband material. And I couldn't say I can't find a wife because I'm just searching for the next experience. I met this woman Monday. What could I get from her on Friday? I'm not thinking 20 years down the line. I'm not thinking about service. I'm just making you happy so I can get what I want. And then when I'm tired of it, I'm going to move on. So I can't be vulnerable because I don't plan to be here long. And that's the dating game. And men and women are guilty of this because we just want the next experience. We just want the next high. I just want to be happy right now because I got my feelings hurt last month. So who can make me happy this month? If I spent money and invested in this relationship and I lost something, I'm going to see who I can take it back from. And that's where usually men and women, I don't want to pick on one gender, but we've all done it. You dated somebody independent and strong, they hurt you, so now you go and find a victim. You're not looking for a husband, you're not looking for a wife, you're looking for a victim. That last person you invested money on, you bought them TVs, you bought them clothes, you helped them get a new car. Now you're mad because they left you. So now you got to go find another victim. Who can spend money on me? Who can I manipulate? Who can I control? So you're not looking for a husband, you're looking for a man you can control. So the first question you ask, how much money you make? Where do you work? What can you get out of him before that person hurts you? And we both do it. I'm not picking on women. We've all done it. I learned how to lie by being lied to by women. But guess what? I was lying too. So sooner or later, we all have to repent. We all have to look at God and say, yeah, I was treated the way I treated other people. Those same women that played me, I was playing other women. And it just goes around and around and around. And it's this long circle of pain. And many of us, I won't say everybody, but many of us played that game. Many of us got our feelings hurt. Many of us are confused. Now we can't trust anybody. But just think about what you've done. How many people have you hurt? How many people have you lied to? How many people are still waiting for your phone call? Who have you taken money from? Who have you manipulated? Who have you ghosted? How many people did you give your wrong address and your fake name to? You know, there's dozens of women out here that never knew my real name because I didn't plan on being there long. So if I'm not going to be committed, I don't need to tell you the truth and I don't need to be vulnerable. And after I hurt your feelings, I don't want you to be able to find me. Men have done this, women have done this. Women have done it to me. There's women I dated I had to pick them up from her sister's house. I never knew where she lived. I was always picking her up from somebody else's house because she was hiding something. But guess what? I played her game because I knew it wasn't going to be there long. I knew she was lying because she never let me in the house. So I knew she was lying, but I kept going because I didn't care. But there were no rules. I was not going to be there long. I just wanted my next experience. And when I got tired of playing her game, I stopped calling. I stopped showing up. So whatever lies she was concealing, whatever truth she was hiding, I didn't even care. Now, if I had a husband mentality and I was looking for a wife, a woman I could trust, I would have cut that relationship off the first day because I knew she was lying from the beginning. But I also didn't care because I was playing the illegitimate game. But if you really want to get married and you really want a real relationship, you have to be real and honest first. You have to be vulnerable first. You have to find out what love really is, and only God can show you that. So you have to read your Bible, you have to pray, you have to get out of the game. And for many of us who've been sleeping around and playing this game for years, your flesh is not even ready for a commitment because you need a new experience every day, every week. So if you really want to get right with God and get right with yourself, and you really want a good relationship that's going to last, and you've been sleeping around and you got many, many partners, you need to start over. You need to be a virgin again. You should go celibate for a year. Learn to control your flesh. Go celibate for a year. Learn how to deny yourself. Learn how to wait. Learn how to appreciate another human being without having your pleasures and your flesh satisfied. Learn how to talk. Learn how to treat people. Learn how to love somebody's soul instead of just the body. Learn how to be sober. Learn how to be sane. Learn how to think. Because if you're just having sex every 2-3 days, you're just going to keep searching more and more for that pleasure. And who can give me this next experience? But if you go celibate for a year, you can get your soul and your spirit right. Then you can think. Then you can use your discernment. Because if you're with somebody every day and you're not having sex, you're actually talking and getting to know each other. Now you're finding purpose. Now you're talking about 5-year, 10-year, 15-year plans. Now you're talking about, are we going to buy this house together? Are you going to college? Where are you going to college at? What you going to do after college? What are your future career plans? You're talking about things that don't involve tonight at midnight. You're having real conversations because now you're being vulnerable and you're both being vulnerable. And now you have a connection. And it's not a trauma bond. It's not a pleasure bond. You really know each other. And now you're husband and wife material. Because you can think with your spirit and not with your flesh searching for pleasure. So there's a difference between a commitment and the next experience. The people searching for the next experience is a different mentality than the people who want a long-term relationship. But you have to be that person to find that person. We'll talk more about this later. Peace.